All right, I'm live. If you can see me, let me know down in the comments section below. Where's the camera? Right there. I'm barbecuing right now, and I'm preparing for this hurricane that is coming down here in Florida. I know a lot of people are going to be asking questions. A lot of people are going to be asking me, hey, how I'm doing and things like that. I kind of had to seize a little bit. If there's some audio issues, let me know too. But I kind of had to stop a little bit because primarily the hurricane is coming, and I guess it's now supposed to be like a category 2 or something like that. Praise the Lord, because you guys know the damage that it did in the Bahamas. I mean, horrific. And we got to keep those people in prayer and all that good stuff. We really got to pray for them because, I mean, I cannot even imagine. I can't even imagine how would it be that, you know, a week from now, you have no idea. You can't predict this, and there is a horrible hurricane, and everything that you have worked for all your entire life is gone. I mean, that got to be a horrible feeling. I know some people in the Marine Corps, some guys that deal with like tornadoes and things like that, and again, you know, it's like one of those things that it's just out of nowhere. This happened, and you really can do much. It got to be a really horrible feeling. Obviously, material things could be replaced, but cannot be replaced is people's life. So as much as it sucks, you know, if the house, you know, I was talking to Stacy about this. I mean, if the house gets damaged, we have insurance, you know, and if it doesn't, we work and we replace it. Eventually, it's gonna suck, all that stuff. But overall, you know, the most important thing is our children, my wife, myself, you know, my family, people in our community, and things like that. Somebody asked what I got in the grill. I'm cooking chicken legs, and I got some pork chops right here. I'm gonna cook it all, and then what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna put the grill away. This place right here, let me show you something. I got these things. All right, if you down here from the south, you probably know this. And these things, they are really expensive. You put them in the door, in the windows, and essentially what they do is that they kind of one like this, and then you put the other one all the way down, and you could block your entire windows. You could block your entire house. I mean, you can make your house fortified. When we bought the house, it was in the garage, and I remember I told Stacy, look, that thing is in the garage. That's like really expensive. You know, I'm thinking to myself, well, that's a great plus that it already is installed in the house. You know, it's kind of like buying a car with something cool that you want, because like I say, I know that's expensive, and I know that not everybody can afford putting things like that in the house. So when we got the house, that was already there. So what we did was that we put them all over the windows. This area right here, you guys know I record videos here. Everything's in the garage already. The last thing that is not in the garage is the barbecue, because I was planning to cook, and I was planning to cook today, and then after this, I'm probably gonna wait a little bit, and then I'm gonna put the barbecue inside the garage, and that's it. I got the space already allocated. The garage is a mess, guys, but I got the space allocated. I gotta tell you, I was talking to a couple guys, and you know, a lot of times we think about this incident and we wait until the last moment. And I remember right before Dorian, right before anything, I told Stacy, I bought like 10 cases of water, and I told Stacy, hey, let's get some water in case of hurricane. And next thing I know, you know, people were talking about hurricanes, and I'm like, whoa, you know, we already have water, but we have more water. And you know, now it feels like everybody's rushing, everybody's getting stuff. And it really shouldn't be like that. You should be able to prepare yourself when it comes to hurricanes, because we all know that the peak season is pretty much September and October time frame. So August come around, buy 10 cases of water and put it in your house. I mean, you're not really screwing anybody over, because there's so much water out there that it's just available at that point, right? One thing that I'm going to say is, compared to, I think I'm going to do like an after action report about this hurricane, is that I seen a lot of people. I see, like yesterday I went to Lowe's and Home Depot, and there were so many generators, but at the same time there were the ones that are about $700, $800, which are great, you know, a lot of power. You could power a lot of things, but at the same time, not everybody has $800, right? I mean, to me, that's a big investment. I just don't come out with $800 out of nowhere. By the way, somebody gave me $2 in a super chat. Thank you so much. I'm doing this with the cell phone, so it's kind of difficult. Not like my fancy computer stuff. So when I have my fancy computer stuff, I can see all the comments a little bit better. But again, you know, appreciate it. All that stuff was available. So I saw a lot of water available. I saw a lot of stuff available. And, you know, compared to years in the past where none of that stuff has been available, I don't know if it's because the governor has made some different changes. I don't know if I don't know what's going on. All I know is that I seen a lot of things available. Obviously, we had a little bit more time. Actually a lot more time this time because the hurricane sat in the Bahamas for so long that maybe it's bring ability to bring more supplies. But I'll tell you right now, just a couple things that I want to mention. Flashlights. I got the flashlights ready, batteries ready, right? And again, you know, I tried to keep my flashlights on the same, kind of like in the same battery style. So like that's kind of like the Glock, right? You want to be able to share magazines and things like that. Well, you want to be able to share batteries. It's the same thing. Hopefully I don't burn my food. So batteries, done. My mother-in-law came over. She brought some good stuff as well. She got some of those lamps, oil lamps. Those are fantastic when the lights go out. Generator, done. You know, the generator's in the garage. 20 gallons of fuel. About 20 gallons of fuel, 4 cans, all filled up, boom, done in the garage. Several extension cords. I don't have a way to plug in my generator to my house. I want to do that in the future where, you know, I guess you got to pay like $500. There was a guy that was going to do it. I just haven't done it. That would be a lot better. But again, you know, I will put my generator back here, run an extension cords inside the house, and then I could power fans. I could power even my Wi-Fi if I could, right? So that's going to be done. The only thing that I wish I would have had that I didn't get is that I didn't have an AC unit. I've been dying to get an AC unit, like a small window unit. So like that, I could run a generator right here and then run an extension cord to that side, to my room, and then plug in a window unit and be able to, you know, put AC on my master room, right? We're talking about the fact that if we lose power for a few days, it would be really nice to be able to do that, right? It would be really nice to be able to have a room for AC. And check it out, guys. A lot of the stuff, it's not even for me. I suck it up because, you know, the Marine in me. I'm talking about things that my family can enjoy, my baby can enjoy, my wife can enjoy, you know. Like we prep, a lot of us, the guys, we prep for our families, you know. Most likely, if I have an AC and the room is nice and cool, my kids, my wife, everybody's going to be there. Maybe if I get lucky, I get a spot in there. Hopefully I get a spot in there. So AC, I went to buy one and there were some that were really expensive and I was like, whatever, you know, and they were really big, 18,000 BTU or whatever. I think that's too big. I think a room maybe requires about 10,000 BTU, I think. I don't know, I got to do more research on that, right? But again, you know, we have about 3 fans, a generator. I think I ran about 5 gallons of fuel last time around there. So that tells me that I got enough to at least 4 days with gas. One thing that I would tell you is that, I don't know if I mentioned this in the past, is that a lot of the places, Matt Sexy said, JH6, don't forget the heaters. Man, we're in Florida, man. It's hot as hell in here, bro. It's horrific how hot it's in here. But yeah, if you live in places that you need a heater, I mean, that would be even really important to have, because you could go to sleep being hot, but being cold is pretty scary, right? Definitely pretty scary. So again, you know, there's a lot of preparations that we got to take in place, and sometimes I get kind of like, in a way, kind of sad, not sad, but in a way kind of like, come on people, hurricane season's coming up and there's some things that we got to do and some people don't take it too seriously. And I'm going to tell you, you can't predict the future. But not only that, a lot of times we said things like, well, we prepare and really nothing happened and things like that. You got countries like, I think it was Haiti. In Matthews, we had one person die. I think it was one person die here in the United States. We had over 400, and I'm sorry if I got the numbers wrong, but it was a crazy amount of people die in Haiti, like in the hundreds. And the reason is simple. We have the the stuff, the resources that we need in order to survive. This country is amazing. This country has a great system. This country has places, the building codes, the way we build our houses, the way that the governor took charge to do some things, the way that the local counties were able to help the local people by giving the proper information. The ability to be able to prepare and have proper supplies. Guys, when you start looking into all that stuff, it makes total sense that we are able to survive or minimize the amount of casualties in the United States, and other countries can, because they don't have the ability to do the things that we could do, right? And somebody said something about testing a gun. I think it was a Taurus or something. I don't know, man. If I get one, I do it. But ultimately, lately I've been working a lot, and like you guys know, I'm studying for the test that I gotta take. And I kind of had a pause today because the hurricane, we had to prepare for it. And obviously I started barbecuing. I said I'm gonna do here a little live stream. Check this out. Yeah, baby. Big shout out to my mother-in-law. She's the one that brought this gorgeous stuff over here. We also doing some look at this. Woo! I gotta cook this at the same time, so I figured that the chicken legs are gonna take a little bit longer. So I was kind of cooking that, and now I'm gonna cook the pork chop and then kind of finish it together. I don't know. I was born in Cuba, so I think one of the best ways to eat this is with rice and beans. I'm not being racial or anything, but that's what we eat over there, right? So I love some rice and beans, and like you guys call it like fried bananas. It's actually like plantains. I love some of those plantains too. That'd be good stuff to eat this stuff with. But hey, I spent 11 years in the Marine Corps, so I do some mashed potatoes too. I do it all. I like to eat a lot. So yeah, so I guess the hurricane is gonna hit sometime, it's gonna hit at a category 2, and it's gonna hit sometime tomorrow, 08. It's kind of to like, we never know. Everything changes so much that it's ridiculous. Right now they're saying about 08. I'm really hoping that we get to keep our electricity, because you guys know that, no electricity just sucks. And having to work during this time and coming home to no electricity, it kind of sucks a little bit. But nevertheless, we're praying that we don't have any people don't die. We're praying that the good Lord will protect us. I know you hear in the news, thoughts and prayers are not enough. Nah, thoughts and prayers are amazing, and we got to be in prayer. We got to ask the good Lord to protect our house, protect our country, protect our family, and to shelter us from this stuff. God says, I am your high tower. High tower was a position where we look for the enemy, right? So he is our high tower. So we got to ask him. So somebody says something about floating. I'm not worried about floating. I'm not in a floating zone. I am really close to one. I actually had to go into the county, what is it called? Like the maps or whatever, to see where I was. And I'm really close to a floating zone, but I'm not. So I'm missing it by a couple miles. The other thing too is that my house is elevated. I got my driveway kind of goes up and it's kind of elevated. And I remember last year or the year before, we had the hurricane that came by. I remember around 2 o'clock in the morning, I looked outside and my neighbor's garage was like covered on water. You know, I had like at least 10-12 inches, and my house wasn't even touched, just based on the fact that my house is a little elevated. If you guys see back here, I got water back there. It's not really a canal or a river or anything like that. It's like, I don't even know what it's called, but it's water back there, right? Usually I'm worried about alligators because it's Florida. But I got water right there, so typically the water goes into there. And Stacy's texting me. Can't wait. Stacy's out. I can't wait until she come home. Gotta eat some food, lady. But at the same time, it's kind of worried that, hey, you know what? If it overflows, water comes back here. I do have some not trash bags, sandbags right here. Like I say, I'm covering the door with the metal. And then I have the trash bag. The only concern, or actually one concern that I have about this metal things, let me show it to you guys again, right here. All right. So you put those metal things, right? And they're really nice. I mean, literally, you could, not only hurricane, you know, it's zombies come or something, you can fortify your house, a riot or something like that. But when you put these things on, the only way to come out of the house is the garage door. And I realized that because in the concrete, there's like little screws coming out, and you hang them in there. And that's okay. What I did was that I cleaned the garage, and well, the garage is a mess, but I got a pathway that takes me out. But my concern is that if something bad happened and that's blocked, I'm literally stuck inside the house. I can't come out. All the windows are covered. All the doors are covered. Everything is essentially covered. And I don't like that. I really don't like that. I don't like the feeling that there's only one way out. So what I do is that I leave 2 of the panels. So I guess it's kind of gambling in a way. I leave 2 of the panels. I'm probably going to leave them in my front door. And the reason why is because my front door is kind of pushed back. You know, you got your front door that's kind of like showing. I got like this, you see my windows, and then kind of has like a little hallway. You take about 3-4 steps, and then there's my door. So there's a way right there to come out. So that's good. The other thing, somebody just said about the garage door. Yeah, the other thing is the garage door. Literally, I could open the garage door, obviously, and come out. So that would be something else. But I got a mess in there. And 2, I got sandbags in the other side of the garage door. So we're having sandbags and things like that, you know, just, I mean, you'll be able to pick them up, but still, I got sandbags. I don't know. I just don't like the fact that, I know it may be totally safe. Woo! I mean, the garage door and the side garage is totally safe, but I just don't like that feeling. So I usually leave just enough. Man, this smoke. This is what happened when I'm live streaming and cooking. I usually leave like 1 off in case something happened. I could open that front door and kind of like low crawl myself through there, and then kind of like, you know, deal with that after that. Murray's in the house. What's up, man? Hope you're doing good. I apologize. I kind of like got off a bunch of the comments in here. It's just difficult to see with the cell phone, and I'm cooking and I'm doing this because I kind of wanted to let you guys know that the hurricane is coming. I think we're gonna be okay. I think it went from like a category 5 at one point. We were kind of like, whoa, we kind of like a little scared about that, but I think we're gonna be okay. And I think that nothing, you know, we're gonna do it just like we've done it in the past. We've done category 2 and 3 here in the house, and we did just fine. Last time, if you see my fence, a couple panels came out of that fence, but the way those panels work is just individually. You stick them in there, which I figured out when that happened, and that was about it. And also the garage opener, I guess the surge coming back, it killed that. I'm assuming that's what happened because it didn't work right after the hurricane. We had a couple of power line come down. We had a couple trees in the other side. I got trees right here. You guys see that? You guys see that big tree right there? I got many of them in this side. So I guess a tree coming down may be a concern, but those trees look pretty young. They don't look old at all. So they're pretty strong trees. They're starting to move already. But again, you know, food, we got water. I fill up my fuel tank, my propane tank. We got gasoline. We have the generator ready to go. I tried it up, everything. I'm gonna bring some videos about that. We got lighting. If the light goes out, we have a way to have some kind of light. Obviously, we have all that good stuff. We got the family here. We're gonna be in prayer to pass this stuff. So I think we're gonna continue to be in prayer, and we're gonna go through it. I mean, we do this every year, guys. Like literally, I was talking to the wife about this. I'm like, every year we're dealing with hurricanes, and it is what it is. That's just part of living down here in Florida. It's like you guys up north, you guys deal with snow and all that stuff, but it is what it is. Other than that, guys, stay tuned. I just wanted to come up here real quick and let you guys know that we're doing okay. You know, keep the people in prayer as the hurricane passed by. I'm going to be doing a lot of work, but keep the people in prayer and keep the country and families and the people in Bahamas. And if you guys could help, you know, I know every now and then they ask for money and stuff like that. Just don't discard it. You know, $1 may sound kind of stupid, but when you donate $1 to like some kind of group or something, you know, and 1 million people donate $1, that's $1 million, you know. So whatever we could do to like help out the people, it's good. It's good to help. The good Lord says help, so it's good to help. When we help our families, it's kind of like we're expected to help our family. When we help our children, when we help our wife, our husband, you know, if you die and you go to heaven, God says, you love? Yeah, I love my wife. Yeah, really? You love your wife? You're supposed to love your wife, man. You're supposed to love your children. But when you love your neighbor, it's totally different. And I think that's why Jesus talked about that. Love your neighbors. Anyways, I think my mother-in-law wants me to finish cooking. Appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned. We got a lot of videos coming up. I don't know how to turn this off. And as always, God is in control.